Welcome to Healing Heart Talk. Today we explore why brilliant minds often forget names instantly after a warm and friendly handshake. Have you ever felt embarrassed because someone introduced themselves and 5 seconds later, their name completely vanished from your active memory? You might jokingly call it a goldfish brain, but science reveals a fascinating psychological mechanism behind this incredibly common social experience. The truth is, your brain is functioning perfectly. It simply processes information in ways that prioritize deep meaning over shallow labels. To understand this, we must dive into the fascinating world of cognitive psychology and explore the famous Baker-Baker memory paradox. Imagine meeting two different people at a party. One tells you their last name is Baker, a completely random auditory label. The other person tells you they work as a baker. Suddenly, your brain lights up with vivid imagery and warm associations. You immediately imagine the rich smell of freshly baked bread, the warmth of a kitchen, and flour dusted on an apron. The profession of a baker carries rich emotional and sensory data, creating multiple neural pathways that make the memory stick firmly. However, the surname Baker offers no sensory details. It is just an empty word floating without an anchor in your mind. Because there is no meaningful context attached to the name, your brain struggles to store it in your long-term memory. This paradox perfectly illustrates how human memory relies heavily on connections, visual cues, and contextual meaning rather than raw data storage. Now let us consider another powerful psychological factor at play when we meet someone new. It is called the next in line effect. When you stand in a circle of strangers waiting for your turn to speak, a subtle wave of social anxiety hits. Your mind starts racing. You worry about your posture, your smile, and exactly what words you will say to introduce yourself. Because your cognitive resources are entirely consumed by managing your own upcoming performance, you cannot process the incoming information right then. Your brain simply does not have the bandwidth to encode the name of the person speaking right before your own turn. It is a classic bottleneck in our mental processing system. You hear the sound of their name, but you never listen. This lack of focus during introductions is completely natural. Our evolutionary survival instincts often prioritize our own social standing and safety. We are so focused on making a good impression that we accidentally sacrifice the very details needed to build future connections. Beyond social anxiety, we must look at how the brain fundamentally organizes information. It is not a computer hard drive, exactly. Think of your mind as an incredibly efficient filter, constantly sorting through millions of sensory inputs to find what truly matters. It actively discards trivial details to save energy for processing deep emotions, complex relationships, and vital environmental cues around you every day. A random name is often categorized as low-priority data, while the genuine warmth of a smile is saved almost instantly. People who frequently forget names are often highly associative thinkers. Their minds naturally gravitate towards abstract concepts, deep emotions, and stories. When an associative thinker meets you, they are not memorizing your name tag. They are reading your energy and your expressions. They will remember the fascinating story you told about your childhood dog or how your eyes sparkled when discussing your passions. They will easily recall the specific tone of your voice and the comforting atmosphere you created during that brief social interaction. However, the arbitrary collection of syllables that make up your name simply slips through the cracks of their highly creative minds. This means that forgetting a name is rarely a sign of disrespect, ignorance, or a lack of genuine interest in others. It is simply a byproduct of a brain architecture that values the essence of a human being over their superficial label. Society often makes us feel incredibly guilty for this harmless cognitive glitch, leading to unnecessary shame and awkward apologies during conversations. We label ourselves as terrible with names and carry this heavy burden into every networking event or casual weekend dinner party. But understanding the neuroscience behind this phenomenon can help us release that guilt and embrace our natural cognitive processing styles fully. You are not broken. You are simply prioritizing the soulful aspects of human connection over the rigid demands of rote memorization. So how can we navigate a world that still expects us to remember names flawlessly upon the very first casual meeting? The first step is radical self-acceptance. Acknowledge your associative mind and stop punishing yourself for how your unique memory works. When you forget a name,
I apologize. Would you
simply
mind
smile
repeating your
warmly
name for me?
and ask them to repeat it. Honesty often builds better bridges than pretending. You can say something like, "I remember your wonderful story about traveling, but your name has just slipped my mind today." Most people will appreciate the fact that you remembered the meaningful details of their life, even if the name temporarily vanished. If you truly want to improve your name recall, you must learn to hack your own associative memory system. During introductions, when someone says their name, immediately repeat it out loud. This simple action forces your brain to engage multiple sensory pathways. Next, try to connect their name to a vivid visual image or a famous person you already know with that name. If you meet a man named Arthur, imagine him pulling a legendary sword from a stone right there in the room. By transforming a meaningless auditory label into a rich visual story, you feed your brain exactly the kind of data it craves. Another powerful technique is to stay entirely present during introductions. Take a deep breath and quiet the anxious chatter inside you. Stop worrying about what you will say next. Give the other person your full, undivided attention for those few crucial seconds. Look them directly in the eyes, listen to the syllables of their name, and anchor yourself firmly in the present moment. Even with these techniques, you will still occasionally forget names. And that is perfectly okay. Give yourself the grace to be human. Remember that the true foundation of any relationship is how you make people feel, not how perfectly you memorize their identity. Maya Angelou famously said that people will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. This profound wisdom aligns perfectly with the neuroscience of memory. Our brains are beautifully designed to prioritize emotional resonance above everything. When we judge ourselves harshly for our memory lapses, we create unnecessary stress that actually impairs our cognitive functions even further. Stress hormones flood the brain, blocking the hippocampus from forming new memories, which makes remembering names even more difficult next time. By relaxing and accepting our natural mental processes, we actually create an optimal internal environment for better memory retention and learning. Let us shift our perspective and celebrate the incredible complexity of the human mind with all its beautiful quirks and imperfections. Your ability to forget a name while remembering a feeling is a testament to your deep capacity for genuine human empathy. It shows that you are looking past the surface level and connecting with the authentic core of the people you meet. In a world obsessed with superficial data and quick networking, your associative mind offers a slower, more meaningful approach to relationships. You build connections based on shared experiences, mutual understanding, and emotional warmth. Rather than just exchanging business cards and empty titles, think about the best friends you have today. Do you remember the exact moment you learned their first and last names? Probably not. You remember the laughter you shared, the tears you wiped away, and the countless adventures you experienced together instead. Names are simply the keys to open the door, but the actual relationship is the beautiful house you build inside together. If you lose the key momentarily, you can always get another one. The house you built will still remain standing strong. Let us explore another fascinating aspect of this phenomenon. Did you know that our brains process faces differently than verbal information? There is a specialized region in the brain called the fusiform face area, dedicated entirely to recognizing and remembering human faces. This evolutionary adaptation helped our ancestors quickly identify friends or foes in the wild, long before spoken language was fully developed. Because visual recognition is so deeply wired into our survival instincts, we almost never forget a face we have seen before. However, the ability to attach a complex linguistic label to that face is a relatively recent development in human evolutionary history. So when you recognize a face but draw a blank on the name, your ancient survival brain is working perfectly fine. It is only your modern linguistic processing center that is experiencing a slight delay in retrieving the correct verbal data file. Understanding this evolutionary background adds another layer of self-compassion to our daily social interactions and minor memory failures we experience. We are walking miracles of biology, carrying ancient neural networks that are trying to navigate a highly complex modern social world. Sometimes, these ancient systems clash with modern expectations, resulting in awkward moments at parties, conferences, or casual meetings in the street. Instead of feeling embarrassed, we can choose to find humor in these situations. Laughter is a fantastic way to relieve tension. Sharing a laugh about our mutual goldfish brains can instantly break the ice and create a genuine moment of shared vulnerability. Vulnerability is the true birthplace of connection. When we admit our small flaws, we give others permission to be imperfect too. You will often find that the other person is incredibly relieved, as they were also struggling to remember your name perfectly. This shared moment of human frailty can build a stronger bond than any perfectly executed, flawless professional introduction ever could achieve. As we continue this journey of self-discovery, let us remember to treat our minds with the gentle kindness they deserve. Your brain works tirelessly every single second, managing your breathing, your heartbeat, and processing endless streams of complex sensory information constantly. It is an absolute marvel of nature, and it deserves your profound gratitude rather than harsh criticism for minor social slips. Cultivating mindfulness can greatly enhance our appreciation for how our minds function, helping us stay grounded in the present beautiful moment. When we practice mindfulness, we train our attention to focus fully on the here and now, reducing anxiety about future performance. This calm state of awareness not only improves our memory, but also enriches the overall quality of our daily social interactions. We begin to notice the subtle details of the people we meet, the warmth in their eyes, the the kindness in their smiles. These meaningful details become the anchors for our memories, creating a rich tapestry of human connection that transcends mere verbal labels. Let us embrace our unique ways of processing the world. Whether you remember names or feelings, your perspective is deeply valuable. Diversity in cognitive styles makes our human family incredibly resilient, creative, and capable of solving complex problems from multiple different angles. The associative thinkers bring color, emotion, and storytelling to our communities, reminding us of the profound depth of the human experience. The next time you find yourself apologizing for forgetting a name, take a moment to pause and reframe the entire narrative. You are not failing at memory. You are simply succeeding at feeling, connecting, and experiencing the world in a profoundly deep way. Let go of the societal pressure to be a perfect networking machine. You are a feeling human being, not a computer. Celebrate your ability to sense the unspoken emotions in a room and your talent for making others feel truly seen and heard. These emotional intelligence skills are far more rare and precious than the simple ability to memorize a list of random names. As we wrap up our exploration today, I invite you to reflect on your own experiences with memory and human connection. Have you been too hard on yourself for these harmless cognitive quirks? It is time to release that heavy burden completely. Forgive yourself for the forgotten names, the misplaced keys, and the momentary lapses in attention that happen to every single person. Embrace the beautiful, messy, and deeply emotional reality of being human. Your worth is not measured by your memory recall speed. Your true worth is measured by the love you share, the kindness you show, and the authentic connections you build every day. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating intersection of neuroscience, psychology, and everyday human social experiences. We hope this discussion has brought you comfort, clarity, and a renewed sense of appreciation for your wonderfully unique, incredible mind. Remember that healing starts with understanding, and true understanding requires compassion for ourselves and for the people we meet each day. Share this message with someone who might need a gentle reminder that their associative, emotional mind is a beautiful, precious gift. Let us create a world where we value emotional resonance and authentic presence over rigid social scripts and flawless memory performances. Keep nurturing your heart, keep expanding your mind, and never lose your curiosity about the wonderful mysteries of the human condition. We are all walking this path together, learning, growing, and discovering the profound beauty hidden within our everyday struggles and triumphs. May your days be filled with meaningful connections, deep conversations, and the quiet joy of truly understanding yourself and others better. Stay tuned for more explorations into the mind and heart. We have many more fascinating stories and scientific insights to share. Until next time, take good care of yourself, be kind to your magnificent brain, and embrace your beautiful journey of life. Thank you for watching, learning, and growing with us. Your presence here makes our community stronger, kinder, and much more vibrant. This has been Healing Heart Talk, wishing you peace, clarity, and endless moments of genuine human connection. Goodbye for now, friends.